All right, y'all. We are live. We are live. We are live. It's good to be live. That was a really, really good fight, right? That was an entertaining, nice little scrap we had there between Ramirez and Barthelemy. I thought Barthelemy could make this thing competitive, could make it a fight. I just couldn't see him winning, and it's basically what he did. I mean, I thought the judge was 119, 109, and then 118. I mean, the scores were a little wide. I thought Barthelemy probably won 3 rounds or so. Um, but ultimately, second half of the fight specifically, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, Ramirez dominated that fight, smoked him. And Ramirez is still one of the best guys in that weight class. Yes, it's a loaded weight class. Absolutely. Glendale, what's up, bro? What's up, Glendale? Glendale says, what's up? Rafa says, what's up? How did you guys do? Did y'all make money? Yeah, great lock of the week. I'll be honest, Rafa, it was. I got a little nervous there, and that was the third round, third, fourth round, a little bit with Ramirez. Was like, he doesn't look too good, and he's not moving. He's not moving his head. Move your head, please, Ramirez. Stop getting caught in the mid range coming in. But he took care of that. In the second half of the fight, he dominated. Ramirez is a world class guy. Ramirez, like I said, is probably one of the best guys at 140. Ramirez versus Teofimo Lopez. Ramirez versus Ryan Garcia. Who y'all got? Who y'all got? Right? Like Ramirez. But he's gotta stop getting caught like that in the mid range. Getting caught with that straight left hand. Because Barthelemy, he's got decent pop. He's got decent power. He does. It looked like that thing was going to be the fight of the year. And I said to one of my Patreons, guys, join the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, come on, guys, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, hit the thumbs up button. But I said to one of my, TFL fight could be fun. It could be. But I was saying, shout out to Nang2942. I said to one of my Patreons, I said, if this is a fight of the year. If Bartholomew stands in and trades with him, he's going to get knocked out. And he almost did. I love Jack Reese. Jack Reese, I think, is a great ref. Great ref. Rough night tonight for Jack Reese, honestly. Rafa, yes, I made $150 tonight. Nice. I wish I would have took Ortiz to get a KO in rounds 1 to 4. Look, obviously, retrospect, yeah, Ortiz hasn't been active. He fought just one round since 2022, right? He fought just once in 2022, didn't fight at all in 2023, fought one round back in January. So I mean, you got to factor in ring rust. Now it didn't play a factor today, but like ring rust is real. Like, does it take him a couple rounds to get warmed up? And I thought it might, and that's why I was like, he'll stop him. But I didn't want to bet on the under. I really didn't. We're gonna get into Virgil Ortiz and Tim Tszyu in a little bit because hats off to those boys. That is one hell of a fight. That is a great fight. Now on to Rafa says now on to Tszyu. Who do we like? Who do we like? I gotta go with my boy Verge. Obviously, he's over my shoulder. It's my boy. That's the homie. He's from Grand Prairie, Texas. I'm from Fort Worth. Let's go. Let's go. But who do we like in that? Tszyu? Do we like Tszyu or do we like Virgil? I gotta roll with Virgil. I gotta roll with Virgil. But that's a great fight, man. Yo, this is what boxing needs. Virgil Ortiz versus Tim Tszyu, both in their absolute primes. Are you kidding me? Like, that's a can't miss fight. I think Virgil destroys him. But let's see. Virgil about to take this. This whole take your soul. Yeah. Verge is different offensively. Now he can get clipped. Verge is not a bad defensive fighter, right? Like, he's not sloppy, he's not wide open, but he's there to be hit. He's in front of you. He stays in front of you. He tracks you down, so he can be hit. So Tszyu's not out of it until he gets stopped. But I think Tim Tszyu gets stopped in this fight. I think Tszyu gets stopped. But it's not a lock. I like to see the odds in that fight. I hope they release the odds soon. DraftKings has been bugging. They haven't been putting out the odds until like midweek, and then they're not putting out the props for these fights until like Thursday, Friday. Like, come on now. Come on now. Let's do better than that. Rafa says, hard fight to pick, man. You guys think Zoo? I mean, look, I've just never been a big fan of Zoo, and I had to come around to like him. And he's a good fighter. I love his heart. I love that he fights everybody. And he could have got out of that fight, but he didn't. He sat and battled with the headbutt. He could have got out of that fight and probably got a decision, right? But he didn't. He came in and he fought hard. So hats off to him. Tim Zúñiga, he's a fighter. And a lot of times when you have guys who come from lineage, who come from money, right? A lot of times you're going to, like Chavez Jr., you're going to question their heart. Zoo's dad, Zoo's father, Costa Zoo, is arguably the best 140 pounder, the greatest 140 pounder ever. Best run at 140 ever. It's a good argument for that. And so he grew up in the world at his fingertips, but he still got fighter's mentality. He still got heart. He's a fighter, man. He's a fighter. So I think Tim Zú is flawed in some ways, but he's a fighter. You can't question his heart. You can't question his work ethic. You can't question his devotion, his mentality. He's a fighter, and I respect that. I respect that for sure. For sure. Glendale says, I think Zoo comes forward style will get him KO'd versus. Yeah, I think so too. Verge is a tough guy to deal with. If you just go backwards and you try to survive, he'll cut the ring off and stop you. If you come forward, you're going to get stopped. So, Verge is just a tough guy. He's a tough guy to deal with, man. He really, really is a difficult guy to deal with. It's good to see, Verge has got 2 first-round knockouts. If Verge knocks out Tim Zú, do we add up all 3 fights? Do we give him full credit for all 3 fights? And is he fighter of the year at that point? If he knocks out Zú? 3-0, 3 knockouts, 2 first-round knockouts. Think about it, guys. Think about it. All right, I'm looking at something else. Sorry, guys. Think about that. Virgil Ortiz starts the year off. It's August. He's 3-0, 3 knockouts. I'm sure he won't fight a 4th time. That would be a little crazy. But 3-0, 3 knockouts. He's got to be in contention for fighter of the year, I would say. I know the first fight, Lawson, but they're first-round knockouts. You know what I'm saying? They're first-round knockouts. Ortiz left to the body is phenomenal. Might be the best punch in boxing right now. Virgil Ortiz left hook to the body might be the best punch in boxing. I want to ask a little bit of a fantasy question. 154-pound Miguel Cotto versus current version of Virgil Ortiz. Who wins? I'm going to put that in the chat there. Versus current Verge. Who wins? I'm gonna put that in the. I'm gonna put that on Twitter too. Guys, field this question. I want to see answers to this. What do you guys feel about Cotto? Was Cotto overrated? I think Cotto was great, man. So that's what I think. I think Cotto was phenomenal. But I would take Verge right now. Cotto was a little small for that size. Virgil is a really nice size, 154. I think this is the weight class. Oh, we're going to go with Cotto. Rafa going to go with Cotto. I don't hate it. Cotto was phenomenal. I love Cotto. I think Cotto was terrific. Cotto was great. So I don't mind that. But I'm going to go with Verge. I got to. He's my boy. And he's over my shoulder. Is he? Where is he? There he is. There he is. That's my boy. So I'm going to go Verge. But that's a great fight. I want to see what y'all think. Also, on the undercard, the women's fight. Really, really entertaining fight with Esparza and Alanes part 2. I had it a draw, 95-95. I like Esparza. I do. I know her personally. I know her well. I've interviewed her a bunch of times. If you go to Texas Boxing Scene, you can see a bunch of my interviews with her. I like Esparza. I like her a lot. I think she's a good fighter. I think she's got excellent skills. Who did you guys think won that fight? Who did y'all think won? Do you think Esparza deserved it, or do you think Alanes got the rightful decision? I had it a draw, so you're not going to get too much of an argument from me unless you tell me you thought it was 99-91. But I got some thoughts on it I want to share after y'all tell me who y'all thought won. Rafa says, my Puerto Rican. Oh, okay. All right. So we got your Puerto Rican brother against my Texas brother. I wish, I really do wish we could make these fights. Like, if we could teleport 154-pound Cotto into 2023. I just wish we could see that fight. It's such a good fight. I think putting a couple thousand on Munguia, just trying to figure out how to hedge the bet. Let's take a look at it as we get closer, right? What are the odds at currently? I did my video. If you go to check out my video, I don't know if you guys all checked that. Go to my video. I broke down Munguia and Canelo. Rafa, do you think it's Glendale? I'm like, Glenn, do you think Munguia is going to win, or do you just think the odds are too great to pass up on? Do you actually think he's going to win? I'm hearing some people who kind of low key are calling for an upset in that. I'm going to take Canelo. I just think Munguia is a little too flawed. But if Canelo is aged, Munguia he could beat him. But I'm going to say there's still enough gas left in the tank for Canelo. I missed the girl fight, but Beatrice Fiera is no joke. Yeah. The girl fight was good. Really, really good fight. It was as far as trying to sit back, trying to box, trying to control her, and Alana is letting the hands go. He's scoring, and I like Esparza. She's 34. She missed weight. I'm not trying to insult a girl's body. She looked not lean. I'll leave it at that. And it wasn't vintage Esparza, but you can still argue she did enough. I had it a draw. I want to know how y'all had it. My boy, Gator McCluskey, still think Fury loses. Yeah, I'm an Usyk stan. I think Usyk is the greatest cruiserweight ever. He's the best cruiserweight ever, and he's going to be the best heavyweight of his era, which to me, I think you can make an argument after he beats Fury that Usyk is a top 20 fighter of all time. And I think that's a reasonable argument, and how you're really going to argue against that so much. Gator, what do you think about the Jets draft? How did our Jets do this weekend? I'm not a huge fan. I wanted Bowers. What do you think of the Jets draft? Gator McCluskey is the guy that did my intro. You go to Gator Sports on YouTube. He's hysterical. He's one of the funniest people. He's extremely talented. Gator McCluskey, check him out. Gator, what do you think of the Jets draft? Rafa, better, yeah. Like, Holyfield was great. Holyfield was, but if you look at the run, Usyk had a better run than Holyfield. Like, when I say who's the best cruiserweight of all time, there's three guys. You can throw Breedis in, but Usyk's better than Breedis. So the debate's really two guys, right? Like, it's Holyfield or Usyk. Like, if you look at Usyk's run, Holyfield was more dominant. Holyfield was beat people up better, but Usyk's got better names. He unified the 4-belt division, right? The names are better that Usyk ran through. It's a more impressive resume. Holyfield beat him better, like killed him, except in the first fight with Kawi, which I think they both died in that fight. But Holyfield beat him better, but Usyk beat better names. So I guess it's what you like. And I will also add this, as heavyweights, and I love Evander Holyfield. My Twitter picture is a picture of me and Holyfield. Holyfield was never the best heavyweight of his era. Lennox Lewis was. If and when Usyk beats Fury, Usyk's the best heavyweight of his era, and that's not debatable. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, all time, you got to put Usyk above Evander. Gator McCluskey says C+ on the Jets draft. All right. Was I being a little harsh when I said a D+? I really don't like what they did, especially today. Like, trading down, and then taking Allen, the running back, who sucks. And, like, you could have just drafted Bucky Irving. You could have, if you wanted to go quarterback, running back, you could have took Spencer Rattler and Bucky Irving. Instead, you took Jordan Travis and the worst running back I'd ever seen. And they're trying to talk like Braylon Allen is good. He's slow. He has no burst, and he can't catch out of the backfield. Like, he's like Garrett Blunt with no speed. Gator says good value for the first trade up. Day one, good value. Yeah, I agree with that. I just didn't like the pick, but I can live with the pick. I can live with that. I just don't agree with it. Today was bad. Like, it was not good. Like, there's nothing good that came of it. I think the Jets general manager, Joe Douglas, is basically a low IQ, useless person. Like I look at him and I'm just completely unimpressed with Joe. Every Jet fan blames someone, right? It's either Zach Wilson, the quarterback who's no longer there, Salah, the head coach, or Joe Douglas. I blame Joe Douglas for everything that went wrong with the Jets since he's been there 5 years or so. But back to boxing. Back to boxing. I wanted to get back to that women's fight. The women's fight, Esparza Alana's really, really good fight. I want him to do it again. First 2 fights were toss-ups. I scored the first fight a draw. I scored the second fight a draw. Esparza got the first one. Alana's got the second one. We should do this again, but if it went to the third one, I just think Esparza's best days are aging. Right, she's like 7 years older than Alana's. So I would take Alana's in the third, but they didn't do it again. The first 2 fights were excellent. Then what do we make of Jojo Diaz? Like, Jojo Diaz was doing okay in glimpses. He was still boxing, power boxing, applying the pressure, and he was doing okay in little spots. But if you're getting stopped by Oscar Duarte, it might be time, man. And I love Jojo. I know him personally. I got to talk to Jojo a lot. I don't care what anyone says about him. Jojo is a good dude. I know he's got personal battles and personal demons. But he's a really good guy. So who's the future of the heavyweight division? Jared Anderson and Richard Torres, 2 Americans. One was Olympian, one turned pro, before the Olympic trials. But Torres and Anderson, 2 Americans. And these are the best American prospects we've seen in some time, right? There hasn't been heavyweights this good. Torres won a silver, or took a silver, however you say that. And Jared Anderson just fought a couple weeks ago on a top-ranked card. Well, they both fought on a top-ranked card in the last few weeks. But I would say those guys, there's a few other names in the heavyweight division. But would you put those two? Oh, sorry about that. But Torres and Jared Anderson, I would say, are the 2 heavyweights. And they're both American, fortunately, right? We haven't had a guy like that. I would say those are the 2 heavyweights that you should keep an eye on. That's going to be the future of the division. Because after this, after Usyk Fury, that era of Fury, AJ, Wilder, that's done. We're into something else now. Like, they've aged out. Wilder's shot. I don't care. You guys are still in love with AJ. That's done with. AJ is not beating Jared Anderson. That's not happening. He's not beating. He's lost to Usyk, right? That era, those 3 guys, that's done with after this Usyk fight. Because Usyk's going to beat Fury. Fury's going to go retire. Wilder, I don't know if Wilder fights again, but I don't want him to. Enjoy your money. Enjoy your family, bro. And, AJ is going to fight again, but he's not beating the best heavyweights in the world. So that era and we can, Usyk came into it. That's done with. We're on to another era of heavyweights now after the Canelo, after the Usyk Fury fight. I know JoJo would lose. I kind of thought so too, but JoJo's a wild card. Like, I've always been a little bit of a JoJo truther. Like, I think JoJo's really good. I think he's got really good skills for a pressure fighter. He got a little hooks. He turns you. He walks you into shots. He walks you into the left hand. He's got a really good left hand. He's a really good volume puncher. And he can sit back at the mid-range and box. And he can make you miss. And he can time you. Like, there's a lot of things that JoJo does, right? He was an Olympian, right? He's not just a typical Mexican pressure fighter, although he does that really well. There's a lot to JoJo. And personal demons, lack of motivation, issues outside the ring, I think it all kind of caught up to him. I would say, I didn't think he was going to win either, but I didn't want to count JoJo out because I think JoJo is really good. Like, I picked JoJo and it didn't work out, but I picked JoJo to beat Devin Haney when they fought. Like, I thought JoJo was good, really good. The Tevin Farmer fight, like, that was his moment to shine, man. Everyone was in love with Tevin Farmer. JoJo beat the snot out of him. And he was wearing the Kobe jersey and he gave like the Mamba mentality performance. That was a great performance. That was 4 years ago. That's crazy that he beat Tevin Farmer. And like I said, he just had issues. Like, he could struggle with Rakhimov. it's a shame. JoJo was a talented guy, and he became a world champ, so kudos to him. But he could have done a lot more. Just yeah, and it would be. Rafa's right. Torres versus Anderson would be great. It would, and Top Rank ain't gonna make it. They're also, I mean, look, they're not brothers, but they're really good friends. Torres, if you go to check out my interview I did with Torres before his fight in Arizona, Torres was telling me that him and Jared Anderson lived together for a while. Like they're best friends. So that fight's not happening because A, Top Rank ain't gonna put them in the ring together at this point, and B, I don't really think they want to fight each other. Like they're real tight. They're real good friends. Who would you take, Rafa? I gotta take Jared Anderson. Like I really, really think Jared Anderson is the best American heavyweight we've had in decades. They got to build it up. It's going to take years for them to make that fight. Torres is no joke. Torres is a killer. Like Torres is a swarmer. He's your pressure fighter. As a heavyweight. Like Torres is something special. But Jared Anderson to me is as good. And I know people are going to kill him for his last performance because with Riyadh, he didn't really. What did you want him to do? He had a guy that would not. He had a world-class fighter, a former cruiserweight world champion, who's still ranked as the best bridgerweight in the world, who just would not fight. And I talked to Riyadh after the fight, and I asked him, I said, what was that about? And he goes, well, sometimes in boxing, that happens. You don't try? Like, I mean, the answer was so startling to me. And I was talking to Christina Pancha after the fight, and she's like, what did he say? I'm like, he seems content with his performance. It's just like he didn't go well for him today, but he fought the way he wanted to. It's like, he threw 10 punches around. It's like, you're in a fight, bro. You're going to throw 10 punches around? I've had 65 amateur fights. Like, 10 punches around, this is what you're going to do? That's staggering to me. Anderson is more polished, but it's close. Yeah. Anderson is definitely the more polished fighter, but Torres is a bull. And when you see him in person, he's a big dude, right? Like he looks like he's not such a big heavyweight by today's standards. When you meet him, and like he's big. Torres is difficult. Is anyone else we should add to the kind of top of the heavyweight prospects? Anyone else I'm not considering at this point? Anyone that I'm missing, I guess? Jalolov? Bakhtiar Jalolov? We like him, right? Jalolov, the big Russian Uzbeki gold medalist. I'll put him in. I'll make it a trifecta of heavyweight prospects. Jalolov, Anderson. I wanted to keep it all Americans, but Jalolov, Anderson, and Torres, I would say, is the future of the heavyweight division. How about Jai Opetaia, cruiserweight? Awesome cruiserweight. He doesn't seem particularly big. Can Jai Opetaia fight as a heavyweight? I gotta tell you, I don't think so. I think, unfortunately for him, his money, his peak, his best era is going to be at the no money cruiserweight division. Look, can he go to the heavyweight division and probably have some success? Yeah, he's really good. But could he beat Jared Anderson or Torres or Jalolov? No shot. He's too small. He's not the biggest hitter in the world. And it's just unfortunate, right? Like, it's just like, sorry, you're just a little bit too small. Robert says, gotta go, Gary. Looking forward to next week's lock. Yeah, I'll get everything out. Next week, another good week. Some good action. Yeah, well, I'll see you next week. Rafa, appreciate you. Glenn, need Jai Opetaia to beat the shit out of Chris Billum-Smith. I mean, that's gonna happen. No disrespect to CBS, but Jai Opetaia, I think Jai Opetaia is a pound for pound type of talent. Like Jai Opetaia that's the dude right there, man. He beat Breedis when Breedis was, like I said, one of the best cruiserweights of all time, and Opetaia beat the snot out of him. Jai is no joke, and I like saying his name, so I just hope he's around for a long time. Jai Bhatia is that dude. Anything else we wanted to talk about on the Golden Boy card tonight? Anyone watch the DAZN card that was headlined by Peter McGrail? No one watched that, right? Who watched that? No one watched that fight. And then as far as Ramirez, let's talk about Ramirez for a little bit. Ramirez got anything left? I still think he does. But what does Ramirez fight next? I would love to see him fight Teofimo Lopez. I think that would be a really, really fun fight. I think it's a style problem for both guys. We probably almost certainly won't get it. I don't know what they're going to do with him. I'd be interested to see what they do with Jojo Diaz. Like, Golden Boy kind of sucks at matchmaking. They don't really have anything in their stable form, which is why he fought Francis Barthelemy. I mean, I'm losing my brain here. But Ramirez is why he fought Francis Barthelemy. They don't really have anything in their stable form at 140. So, like, what does he do next, right? Like, they're gonna have Duarte fight him at 140. They're gonna move Zepeda up. Ooh, I mean, they shouldn't move Zepeda up out of 135 to 140. But hot dang, man, if they did, William Zepeda versus JC Ramirez. Who do we got? JC Ramirez and William Zepeda at 138. Don't do that, Golden Boy. I mean, it's a hell of a fight, but don't move Zepeda out of his weight class. I'm just trying to think what they're gonna do with them. Like, what is Ramirez? Look, Ramirez fought Barthelemy. Barthelemy's coming off the win over Omar Juarez, which is probably a loss. This was the first fight Ramirez had with Golden Boy. He fought Combe in his last fight. Ryan Garcia? I mean, can Golden Boy do that? Is there interest in that fight? I mean, that's kind of the obvious name, but I think Ryan's going to fight Devin Haney again, so I don't really think it's on the table. And I really don't think, it's a big money fight because Ramirez, as good as he is, he's not going to sell to Ryan Garcia's crew. Like, the people who watch Ryan Garcia aren't going to buy Ramirez fights. I don't think. I could be wrong. They'll buy Tank Davis, obviously by Devin Haney. And I guess moving forward, Ryan Garcia is just a pay-per-view fighter. I got a question, too. Both Canelo Munguia and why am I losing my brain here? Fury Usyk. Both those fights are on DAZN pay-per-view, correct? So in addition to the $30 a month that I have to pay for DAZN now I also have to pay $60 or $80, whatever it is, for a pay-per-view every other week. This is what we're doing now in DAZN. It's not a good model. Eddie Hearn promised me in 2018 or 2019, whatever, 2019, when DAZN USA launched, that was the end of the pay-per-view model. DAZN had killed the pay-per-view model. Now they're putting on more pay-per-views than PBC. Right? I'm serious. Like, when is enough? Like, we're boxing fans. We're not golf fans. All right? Like, resources are limited. Okay? Like, how much money do you want to get out of us to watch boxing? Do you know why football is huge? Because all of their games on Sunday are on free TV. You can sit there on free TV and watch football all day for free. And they're a $1 billion industry. Billions, right? Like it's the NFL. Because their product is free. Like, why is Google so big? Their product is free. Why is boxing charging you, do the math, $30 a month And then how much money for pay-per-views? $100 a month on average? It's ridiculous. Like, there's a limit, guys. Okay, I got some. Glenn's got a good rant. Munguia at plus 460 is a very good deal for someone who enters his prime. Excellent, Chin. Good work, right? No, I agree with everything you're saying. He looks really good, often stopping Ryder when Ryder was, yeah, good points. I thought for sure Ryder, who I think is tough as nails, I thought Ryder was going to go the distance. He got stopped pretty badly too. I think around 8 or something like that. Canelo activity has been dwindling now, and 60 plus fights puts wear and tear on your body. 100%. Canelo is no longer young. He's on the older side now, and he's much older than his actual age because he's had so many fights, right? Obviously, prime Canelo beats Munguia, but anybody can be beat if their time is right in Munguia's style. I don't necessarily disagree. I think there's an argument that you can make for Munguia. And I think with those odds, it might be worth taking a risk. But if I had to pick, I would still take Canelo. I don't disagree with anything Glenn says, right? I still think that Canelo is too smart. He's too crafty, right? His ring IQ is too high. And Munguia is too flawed. He's too much in front of you. I think Canelo eventually gets to him. However, if this fight was next year or 2 years, I might agree with Glenn. I just think right now, at this time, I still think Canelo has enough to beat Munguia. Although it's a great fight, and I would not be shocked. If Munguia wins, I ain't calling it the upset of the year. I promise you that. At plus 460, to put something on it when Canelo has slowed down and Munguia is entering his prime, when the last time Canelo fought a young prime Mexican that doesn't back down or is scared of him. When's the last time Canelo fought a young prime Mexican? He doesn't. None of them are in their prime. Angulo wasn't afraid of him, but he also wasn't that good, and he wasn't in his prime. Chavez Jr., we're not even going to do that. So the answer to Glenn's question is he doesn't. I might hesitate when Canelo winning in round 7 to 12 or something like that. I still need to think about it. That's not a bad option. That's not a bad option. You could do that. Canelo winning the second half of the fight. Why don't you just live bet it, though, right? Like, just put your money on Munguia, and it starts to look bad for him because Canelo could strike quickly. That's true. Right? Like, the Kovalev fight. You couldn't really live bet that because I thought Canelo was losing, and then he just knocked Kovalev out. So it's probably, Canelo might not be the best guy to live bet on. You know what I'm saying? So if you really think Munguia has a good chance, just bet on Munguia, and if that's not working out, then just live bet Canelo to cover your loss. But it's tough to do that with Canelo, right? Like, it's not like Floyd. Like, if you bet against Floyd and then Floyd's up 8-0, we know it's going the distance, and we know Floyd's going to win. So then you just, you live bet, and you cover your loss with live betting. Yeah, we can come up with a hedge. We'll work on that. We still got. We'll come up with a good hedge on that. We'll work that out. We got lots of good boxing on this week. Really good boxing this week. I already got my video out on Canelo and Munguia. So go check that out. I'm going to wrap this up soon. We've already been on over a half hour. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any last questions, let me know. Any thoughts, comments, questions, put them in the comment section now. We'll get to them, and then I'm going to wrap this up. I'm getting tired. It's been a long day for me. True, I appreciate your takes. You are definitely one of the better boxing prediction channels, I would say. You are top 3 or 2. Who's my competition? Is it the British kid? I like the British kid. I don't think he's as good as me, but Punch Perfect, that's his name? Punch Perfect, right? You guys familiar with him? If you're not, go check out Punch Perfect's page. Who else do we like? Who's my competition for predicting fights? I do a ton of research on these videos, guys. I spend probably 5 hours doing these videos, at least 5 hours invested in putting these videos together. Right? It's not, I just give my take. I watch a lot of tape to do this for you guys. But who else do you guys listen to? Who else could do it? I think I'm the best in the world at this. I really do. But who else do you guys like? Not my favorite prediction. No, my favorite are Trav FDY and maybe Dwyer. Yeah, okay. Shout out to Dwyer, the OG. He was the first guy that really gave uh, boxing prediction. Shout out to Dwyer. He's old school. I respect that. I think I'm better than him, but he's the OG. I totally respect him. I remember you, Dwyer, and Trav all picked Barroso for the upset. Oh, did Dwyer? I'm gonna start listening to Dwyer's channel again. Dwyer's the man. That's a good shout out, Glenn. That's a good shout out. Yeah, I thought, Davies, Barroso was a similar to fighter to Davies, but Barroso did everything better. So I picked Barroso to win by stoppage. Now I wouldn't expect him to knock him out in the first round, but I definitely thought that. He was like plus 400, I think. Yeah, that prediction there that helped my channel for sure when I called that. The other one that helped my channel is when I picked Eddie Vasquez to beat Joe Cordina, which he didn't. He got robbed, right? But everyone knew that he got robbed, and I was like, oh wow, okay. He picked Vasquez to beat Cordina. Like he may know what he's talking about, even though officially Cordina got the win, which was a terrible decision. All right, I'm going to wrap it up now. I appreciate it, Glenn, and I'm going to go back and listen to Dwyer. I'm going to get some of his takes. I like Dwyer. Let me know what you guys think. Thoughts, comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow the all forms of social media. Guys, join the Patreon. Link is in the description. Just $5 a month. It's $5 a month. Get to the lock of the week. Again, we hit on another lock, making a ton of money. Let me know what you guys think. Thoughts, comments below. Join the Patreon. Link is in the description. Ask the bookie anything. Ask me to handicap a fight, break down a fight. I'm also going to try to start a Discord. We got enough followers in there now. We got enough people in the Patreon that we can have our own Discord. We can break down fights. We can talk about live betting. We can talk about boxing news. And also, I'm thinking about live streaming, not just immediate reaction, but breaking news too. Let me know what you guys think. Do you want me to live stream breaking news? Will you guys join the live stream so we can break down news as well? Let me know what you guys think. Leave your thoughts, comments below. Glendale, last comment, says, thanks, man. Have a good night and God bless. Next week, big fight week. Absolutely. That came up quick, man. Cinco de Mayo came up quick. From Texas to the world, thank you and God bless.